No, I parked about a mile west of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's my doctor. He says I need the exercise. You ought to see him. He offered his body to science. They turned him down.
I think the walking will do you good anyway.
Listen, I figure if the good Lord had wanted principals to walk, he wouldn't have given them reserved parking spaces. Hey, you have a qualification to teach English, don't you?
Right. Oh, you plan on giving me a course next semester?
Why wait that long? You know Mrs. Lanahan?
Lanahan. Oh, the older lady.
When she started teaching remedial reading, she was referred to as the younger lady. She's a nice person, but it's just not working out.
What's the problem?
Well, she's got a very difficult group there. I mean, those kids are so far behind in their reading, they think school's a four-letter word.
I've had kids like that in some of my classes.
They're just killing time, waiting to go out into a world that they're totally unprepared for. So, why don't you just sit in on her class today and look the situation over?
Sure. But why me?
Well, you're an understanding person, you're an excellent teacher. And you're the biggest one available.
Mrs. Lanahan need a bodyguard?
All right. Who wants to start us off by reading today? Bob?
Me? You want me to read?
Page 16.
I forgot my book.
Well, here, you can use mine.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, pal.
We're waiting, Bob.
You want me to read this story here with this dumb-looking turkey on it?
That turkey's probably a lot smarter than us. He ain't sitting in this class.
Tony, if you continue making jokes, you'll get a poor grade for the day.
Oh, gee.
Proceed, Bob.
A Christmas turkey. My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Tony.
Huh? What?
Hey, if I'm boring you, man, just let me know.
You're boring me.
Yeah, come to think of it, I'm bored myself. You better get somebody else to teach.
Michael.
Let me have my book with you.
I'm just getting interested. What?
My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was hilarious to see it wiggling. When we opened it, you'll never guess what was inside.
A girl.
A turkey.
Come on, man. Hurry up and get to the sexy part.
One more remark and you'll be sent to Mr. Coughlin's office. Just because you're not trying, you mustn't stop other people. Continue, Michael.
We decided to name him
Gobbler.
Gobbler.
Hey, he's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, he can't read. He's just making it up as he goes along.
You see, Alice, most of these kids have given up trying to read.
They start falling behind in the first or second grade. Then they lose interest. Every year they fall further and further behind.
Well, why don't the teachers do something to help?
You can't expect the teachers to give the kids individual attention in classes that are too big anyway.
Besides, the system says everyone has to keep going on from grade to grade regardless of ability. Anyone who reaches age 16 has to go on to high school whether he's ready or not.
Well, that makes school like a factory assembly line.
It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't capable of so much more.
Yeah, some of those kids could be at least average students, and some of them well above average.
Pete. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mr. Kaufman. Hey, aren't you going to have lunch with us today?
I'd love to, but my doctor says I've got to have salad for lunch 2 days a week. I can't stand to watch people eating solid food. Would you take a look at that class?
Yes,
Gonna take it?
I'll take it.
Great. Oh, will you come by my office after school?
Why? You want to talk about that class some more?
No, I want you to give me a lift to my car.
I think it's wonderful you're taking over the class, Pete.
I'd think it was wonderful, too, if I knew what I was going to do with it. One thing for certain, grades don't matter to them.
Well, can't their parents help?
These kids are from poor families,
Most of the parents don't do much reading themselves.
which will make it even tougher to motivate those kids.
Aw, I'm sure you'll inspire him, Pete.
What do you think's prettier? Our old teacher or the new one?
You want to repeat what was so funny, Tony?
No.
Well, since you're so anxious to talk, why don't you read for us?
If I could read, I wouldn't be here.
Go on and give him an F, Teach.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil my perfect record.
Tony, by the end of this semester, you're going to be reading.
You want to bet?
Mm-hmm. Bob, read the paragraph at the top of page 18.
I forgot my glasses.
The only glasses you got is the one your old man drinks his booze out of.
You read it.
I don't want to read it.
What's the matter? Too tough for you?
No, I can read it if I want to. I don't want to.
If I give you an A, will you read it?
You could give me an X, 2 Q's, and a Z if you want. I don't care nothing about those letters, man.
If I give you this, will you read it?
You'll pay me?
If you read. Page 18.
The dance. It was a
Thursday.
Thursday, and Fred didn't have a date.
Fred.
Fred didn't have a date for the big school dance. He wondered. This is a lousy story.
Read it, Jack. He wondered if...
He wondered if he would ever find enough
Courage.
courage. Courage to ask Linda. She was the prettiest and the most popular girl in his English class.
He can't read. That ain't worth no 50 cents.
You shut up.
Shut up.
Then he was
Surprised.
surprised to see her smiling at him.
It's good, Jack.
It's mine?
It's yours.
$1 even.
Oh, Liz, can I borrow $1? Thank you.
Thank you.
My mother warned me about guys like you.
Well, I had an unexpected expense.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Alice. How are you?
How'd the reading class go today?
Oh, very well.
You mean you actually got those kids to read for you?
Sure. As a matter of fact, they were fighting for a chance to read.
What'd you use, hypnosis?
I told you he would do it.
What'd you say to him?
Nothing special.
Come on, Pete. Don't be so modest.
Tell us the secret.
I paid them.
Why'd you do that, Pete?
Because they wouldn't respond to anything else. I just wanted to see if the money would work.
So it worked. So what do you do for an encore?
Well, I don't know yet.
Are you going to continue to pay them?
Not on a teacher's salary. But I gotta find some way to keep it going.
Why don't you start printing up your own money?
Oh, sure. Open my own mint and turn out Walt Whitman dollars, right?
Hey, that's a terrific idea. Look, we can use a print shop and put Mr. Kaufman's picture on the front. It's just a thought.
It wouldn't work, Alice. Those kids are not gonna go for money that isn't worth anything.
Well, what if we could redeem it for something they could use?
Like real money. Look, anything that's worth something costs money.
Unless you make it yourself. Pete, do you think those kids would value the money if it could buy, homemade cakes?
I'm not sure. But it might be worth a try.
We can get Jason to design the plates for the money. Now, how do you want Mr. Kaufman's picture? Full face or profile?
Knowing Jason, I would not use Mr. Kaufman. See what kind of job he can do on Walt Whitman.
Last period, a student asked me for $50 to do his assignment.
Well, can't blame him for trying.
I asked him where he got the idea. And he told me Mr. Dixon paid him to do his work.
Pete Dixon, are you sure?
I checked the story before coming to you.
Now, look, Mrs. Lund, Pete Dixon is one of our finest teachers. He's really dedicated to doing the best job that he can. Now, if he paid a student to do schoolwork... He paid a student?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that if he paid a student to do schoolwork, he must have had a perfectly valid reason for doing it.
What reason?
Well, frankly, I can't think of one.
Start, Mr. Dixon?
Well, let's wait until the bell rings.
You call on me twice a day? You see, I'm trying to save up enough money to get the new Beatles album.
Chocolate cake? Donuts? Can we watch?
I think you've earned that right.
How about me? I'm ready. How about you, Mr. Dixon? I'm ready. Try me. Hey, you didn't call me yesterday.
I want to talk to you before we start reading. From now on, I'm going to be paying you with these. Walt Whitman $10 bills.
Can I see one of those?
Sure.
Whose picture is that?
Walt Whitman's.
You mean you're not going to pay us with real money anymore?
If I did, I'd be bankrupt.
What are we supposed to do with that funny money?
Here's how it operates. You get paid according to how much and how well you work. Reading in class can be worth $20. A homework assignment, $40. And a book report can earn up to $75.
Yeah, and we can use it for wallpaper.
If you want. But there are other uses for your Whitman dollars. Like this. The Miss McIntyre Devil's Food Cake. You know, men have killed for less than this. And you can earn it just by working in class.
How many Whitman dollars does it cost?
Goes to the highest bidder.
So the one with the most money has the best chance.
And there are other baked goodies, too. Like the famous Alice Johnson donut.
I didn't know you made such great donuts. I don't. I bought them at the bakery.
All right. Who's going to be the first one to earn their Whitman dollars? Bob, turn to page 22.
Would you tell Pete to see me in my office after class, please?
I will.
But why money, Pete?
Because I wanted to reach him.
Yes, well, couldn't you have used something a little less controversial?
For example,
Well, for example, grades, like we've been using for the last 100 years.
grades don't mean anything to these kids. All they hear is get enough A's and B's and you'll go to college. Not one of these kids has any intention of going to college. The only thing they understand is what's happening to them right now.
So you're using psychological conditioning. Do the job, ring the bell, get the reward.
Exactly. But instead of using grades, I'm substituting a reward they'll appreciate.
But don't you see, Pete, that's what bothers me about this thing. I mean, let's face it, you're bribing the kids to do their work.
Well, I prefer to think of it as motivation.
But the motivation is materialism. I mean, after a while, they won't want to do anything unless it's for money.
I'm not teaching them to be materialistic. I am teaching them how to use it so they can educate themselves.
Yes, but you're emphasizing money. I mean, if we're going to emphasize money, why don't we just start a course in hustling and loan sharking?
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a... Pete, that's a horrible idea.
The kids could learn to make money with their money. Oh, I don't mean hustling or loan sharking, but something legitimate like real estate or the stock market.
Wait, hold it. Wait a minute. Real estate? I haven't even okayed the original proposal.
Is it okay?
Oh, boy, look, I'll be honest. My gut reaction is no. I've been on this diet so long, I don't trust my gut anymore. Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Thanks.
You know, we're going to be hearing from Mrs. Lund. She's threatened to take her complaint to the superintendent in charge of curriculum.
Anyway, thanks for the idea about the stock market.
Do me a favor, will you? Don't tell anybody where you got that great idea.
I wouldn't buy all right now.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Well, it's very important. It's very important. Just take a second. He'll be right back. Listen, old buddy. What do you say we arrange a little loan?
What do you mean, old buddy? You were always making fun of me.
What did I know? I couldn't even read.
Mr. Dixon.
Oh, Mrs. Lund.
Mr. Dixon, I'd like to sit in on your class and observe. Would you mind?
No, not at all. Take a seat anywhere.
Thank you.
We're going to have a stock market buy and sell period. Mrs. Lund, some of the students have studied 10 companies. They've bought shares. Now they're going to trade the stocks back and forth among themselves. All right? Who made the most Walt Whitman dollars yesterday?
I made 170.
I made 220.
I made 290.
Anybody make more than that? How'd you do it, Michael?
I bought technical research and it went up.
Why'd you buy it?
Well, I read in the newspaper where they discovered a new process for water purification.
Now we'll have a 10-minute stock market session. Who's got something to sell? Bob.
I got 20 shares of United Computer.
Okay, what are the bids?
$50.
52.
5,208.
Why does Pete need 5 cakes?
Because the kids earned a lot more money than we expected. Besides, you can't have them paying more than a couple thousand Whitman dollars for a cake.
Why doesn't he just tell him it's inflation?
He can't. He's got a lot more sympathy for the government now. It's kind of hard to stop issuing money once you get started.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
The Ingerfood cake fell. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We'll make another one.
You know, I have absolutely no talent for cooking. I almost flunked my final exam in home economics.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do that?
Burned the salad. It's a little joke.
Cakes, money, that's what I've heard. Seymour, I don't like it.
Now, wait a minute. Aren't you jumping to conclusions just a little bit? I mean, you've only heard one side, right?
Now, wait a minute. I am a progressive man. I don't need to remind you that our school system was the first one in this state to introduce a course in sex education.
I know that.
This money program, it's just too unorthodox.
Well, how do you know you have... I'll tell you what. Look, the class is in session right now. Will you look at it?
It isn't necessary.
Mr. Ross, we've got to give our teachers a chance to innovate and develop new teaching methods. Now, we can't just stop them before we give them an opportunity to show what they can do. Can we?
Jerry West helped the Lakers defeat the Celtics 102 to 101 last night. West scored 38 points in leading the Lakers to their third win in a row.
It's very good, Tony. Very good.
Thanks. I owe you something.
What do you mean?
Well, remember when you first came into the class and you said you'd have me reading, and I bet you wouldn't?
Yes.
Here's 10 Whitman dollars. I figure that squares us.
Okay, Tony. Well, I guess you're all ready to buy some cakes now. But before we begin, I want to say something. We've had a lot of fun in this class. First with real money, then with the Whitman dollars. But the important thing is whether your reading has improved. And it has. Arlene, your last test showed an increase of up to a year in your reading level. Michael, you've improved enough so that you're ready to leave the class.
But I don't want to.
All of you have improved. Anywhere from several months to a year. Now, we all know that this has been an experiment and we may not be able to continue it. So let's be honest. The funny money and the cakes are kid stuff. You don't need them. You'll be paid plenty just to go to high school.
What do you mean?
$100,000. That's how much more the average high school graduate makes than the guy who doesn't go to school. That means that each year of school is worth $25,000 to you. So if the Whitman dollars got you excited, just picture the real thing crossing your palm. However, most of you have discovered that money is not the real reason to learn. It's exciting just to get involved, to find out more about people, places, about yourself. Well, reading and education lets you do that. And the money's just a bonus. Now, what do I hear for this beautiful McIntyre chocolate cake?
$300.
400.
500.
Hey, come on, give me the cake. Give me the cake.
Yeah, what's for me?
Big piece for Jack here. He needs it.
Hey, man, watch your mouth. But make it big, Michael. Hey, I thought I was next.
Give me the cake.
How much you want?
$20 Whitman.
Come on, Michael.
You know, Seymour, I'd like to meet this Mr. Dixon.
Of course. Mr. Dixon, Mr. Ross, our superintendent in charge of curriculum.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Tell me, Mr. Dixon, these figures you were quoting about the reading achievement, they accurate?
Yes, they are.
Good. Well, let's keep an eye on this.
You mean you like it?
Well, I didn't say that, but I am sufficiently impressed with what I saw to, let's just see how far it'll go.
It's good.
Fine.
Oh, would you like some cake?
As a matter of fact, I would, but I don't have any Whitman dollars to buy it.
You don't have any Whitman dollars? Well, would you like to read something for us?
I'd love to.
You know, you two girls can bake me a cake anytime. I was so impressed that I'm considering recommending to the Board of Education that principals get cakes to inspire them.
I thought you were on a diet, Mr. Carter.
Oh, boy, don't remind me. I gained 3 pounds. Do you believe that? My doctor is an incompetent sadist.
Hey, not to change the subject, but isn't it amazing how well some of those kids did?
Yeah. Not only that, not only reading, some of them showed a remarkable talent for making money on the stock market.
Is that right?
Yeah. See a kid over there? If he'd been using real money, he would have made over $1,000 this month.
Is that right? It's amazing. What's his name?
Michael.
Michael. I understand you're doing very well at investing in Mr. Dixon's class. It's very commendable.
Thank you.
In view of the current market situation, what looks good to you? Do you think computer stocks are oversold?